You think Costco saves you money? If you live alone or shop for two, that deal can turn into a food waste subscription.
If you think you're saving money at Costco, you're probably wrong. The cheapest Costco membership is $65, which means you're betting that you can save more than that amount shopping in a given year.
Today, we're exposing why those 10-pound onions and 5-pound berries work for families, but drain small households. We'll break down the break-even math after the membership price hike, why tossing even a quarter of a bulk item wipes out your savings, and the hidden costs you never put on the receipt. Storage, time, and stress. If you want your grocery budget to actually stretch, stay with me. The illusion of bulk savings is about to crack.
Stores aren't made to fit your habits, they're made to shape them. Costco loses money on hot dogs and chickens, so you trust everything else is a deal. Costco barely uses signs, so you wander and find things you never planned to buy.
Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
But compared to Walmart, when you're buying common groceries like eggs, milk, or meat, you're only saving about $1.15 per item. These free samples, the $1.50 hot dogs, and the bargain prices are all just tricks to make you feel like you're saving more money than you actually are.
You paid for the card, so now you have to make it back. That push to justify the fee is the first trap. You start chasing savings you don't actually need, and the store knows it. The truth is, there's no senior break on the new higher fee, and that stings more when you buy for one or two. Let's start with the bias at work. When you've sunk money into a membership, you tend to spend more to prove it was smart. You reach for the jumbo pack because the unit price drops a few cents. But your life runs on portions, not price tags. You eat slower. You store less. You toss more. Per unit looks friendly, but the cart swells. Aisle by aisle, the bundle gets bigger while your real savings shrink. Buying a 24-pack to save 10% is like paying for a gym you never use.
Since everything at Costco is packaged in bulk, many shoppers end up buying way more than they actually need. Like, who needs 5 pounds of lemons? Meaning that you have to buy about 57 items per year to just break even. And that's if you actually finish everything that you buy.
The discount exists on paper, not in your life. Here's the break-even math in plain terms. The basic tier needs a steady monthly spend to claw back the fee. The executive tier demands far more to offset its higher cost with rebates. 1- and 2-person homes often fall short of those thresholds because their weekly list is smaller and fresher. Take berries. A $12 clamshell looks great per ounce next to a $4 small box. But if half of the big one turns to mush, you just paid a premium for rot, not fruit. That loss isn't a fluke. It's baked into bulk for small households. And those quiet costs don't ring up at the register.
This is my Costco executive card, and the membership price of this is going up to $130 per year.
In fact, the average Costco shopper spends about $150 per trip. And for like 5 items, that doesn't seem like savings to me.
So what is the amount that you need to spend to break even on this membership compared to just the gold membership, which only costs $65 per year?
Extra gas for the drive. Time in lines. Space in your fridge, freezer, and pantry. They hit like fees in the fine print. So how much waste wipes out the deal? Less than you think. Tossing roughly a quarter of a fresh bulk item can erase the per unit win. At that point, the membership fee becomes the cost center, not the savings engine. Now let's move on to the part you actually feel at home. The fridge, the freezer, and the clutter you pay to babysit. If the break-even was numbers, the waste is the bruise you see it on trash day. The lid lifts, and there go last week's savings. Slimy and sweet. That is the punch in the gut.
Costco gives out free samples to make you crave things you didn't even want. Costco sells in bulk, so you buy more than you need.
Check out this table. The most that you can get back in rewards is capped at $1,000 per year, and that would require over $50,000 in spend.
Let's start with a normal week for 1 or 2. You bring home a 10-pound sack of onions because the tag looked kind. A 5-pound clamshell of berries because the math looked kinder. Jumbo greens because the per ounce dipped. Club snacks because the unit price nudged you. Your fridge is tight. You eat slower. The clock doesn't.
I've interviewed 48 Costco employees, and one thing a lot of them say that they don't buy is produce and perishable food because it's a bulk size. The bargains are what you make of them and what you need in your lifestyle. They get so much of it that they end up not eating half of it, and it spoils and they can't use it.
Perishables clock out fast. Freezers fill like a traffic jam. Bulk spices fade before you hit halfway. The aroma turns from sharp to dull, and every meal tastes a little flatter. You paid for flavor you never get to use. Case in point, half a strawberry clamshell goes soft by day 4. Onions sprout before you saute your way through the bag. Mixed greens sweat in their own clamshell and slump from the humidity. The label still says fresh. Your fork says otherwise. Here's the real kicker. Even a 20 to 30% spoil rate wipes out the price edge.
Since you get 2% cash back on all of the purchases, in order to make up the $65 premium over the gold membership, you actually need to spend $3,240 per year at Costco.
Costco makes you use huge shopping carts, so whatever you put in feels small and you keep filling.
That's the equivalent of around $270 per month to even consider making this membership worth it.
For seniors, the store adds strain that doesn't show in the subtotal. Those heavy carts, long walks, and high shelves. You feel that cost in your legs and shoulders before you feel it in your wallet. Quality has a twist, too. Best Buy dates creep closer because that bulk already spent days in transit and on a pallet. By the time it hits your counter, you inherit the tail end of the window. Then there's health. Huge boxes normalize huge servings. You snack more, swap variety for the same jumbo bag, and your diet narrows without you noticing. Cheaper, then stale, then gone. And the bonus savings like gas, the drive, the line, the pump dance. Time drains faster than the cents slip off per gallon. For small homes, the warehouse playbook, big sizes, big aisles, big queues, nudges you past need and into waste. So what is the takeaway if you want the deal without the dumpster? Let's land this clean. For small homes, the warehouse promise flips.
They tend to move products around in order to keep shoppers guessing. One thing might be in one location one day, and then the next time you shop, it's not there.
On the way to buy something practical, you might pass something enticing and make an impulse purchase.
Pretty good strategy from their perspective because you're seeing all these new items and maybe getting a little tempted to buy more than you need.
The fees, the giant packs, and the treasure hunt push you into costs you don't need and stress you didn't plan for. The savings look clean on the sign. They leak out in waste, time, and clutter. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with the person who still thinks bigger is always cheaper. Tell them why that jumbo deal keeps turning limp in the crisper. Next, we'll test which non-membership stores beat warehouse prices per unit without the waste. You might want to see which aisles actually help your budget.